Learning formulas in Excel can be a challenging task. In this video, we'll walk through how to insert functions and understand arguments in Excel. How do you use Excel formulas? In this video, we're going to walk through the basics of using an Excel formula. We will walk through 4 questions that are very similar to our job interview exercise. If you're interested in that video, I'll include a link above. Otherwise, let's walk through these questions. Question 1, tag all employees with salaries over $100,000 as top earner. If you're new to Excel, the easiest way to work with formulas is by inserting functions. You can do that either by clicking on the Insert Function button, which will pop open this menu, or you can go up to the Formulas tab and click on Insert Function. And then you can either type a brief description of what you want, or if you know you want an if statement, you can type if, hit go, and Excel will give you the different formulas you want to use. If you want an if formula, you can select it, hit OK, and then Excel will give you an overview of the formula. This checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another value if false, and will also give you the specific requirements for each individual argument. The if statement takes a logical test, which is any value or expression that can be evaluated to true or false, a value with true, which is the value that is returned if the test is true, and then the value of false, which is the value that is returned if the logical test is false. And if we wanted to solve this question, for our logical test, select the employee's salary and then use a greater than symbol and type in 100,000. For our value if true, we want to call them a top earner, which we will bracket in quotation marks. And then our value if false, we will use double quotation marks to denote nothing. If I hit OK, I can fill that formula to the bottom of my sheet. And now what I have is for every employee that earns over 100,000, they are tagged as a top earner in my sheet. Question 2, tag all employees by rating. Please use the following tags. If we need some kind of lookup where we want to look up the employee rating, either A, B, and C, and then return a specific tag, how would we do that? We can go up to the Insert Function menu and type lookup, and it will give us all the different lookup functions Excel has to offer. I'm going to use an XLOOKUP as that is the newest function Excel uses, and if I hit OK, it will tell me. The XLOOKUP searches a range or an array for a match and returns the corresponding item from a second range or array. By default, an exact match is used. So my lookup value will be the value to search for. So that is my rating. My lookup array will be the array or range to search. So that will be the rating in my lookup table. I'll use F4 to lock that in place so that I have an absolute reference and my lookup array does not change. My return array will be my array or range to return, which is excellent, fair, or poor. So if I select these, I will use F4 to lock that in place, and then I can just hit OK. And if I fill this formula down, for all of my A's, they've returned excellent, my B's have returned fair, and my C's have returned poor. And I've simply added a tag for each one of my ratings. Question number 3, calculate the salary expense for all A rating employees in the current year. So if I go up to Insert Function, let's say I know I need some kind of sum, but I don't know exactly what I'll need. I can type sum, and then look at each function to determine which would be the best fit for my specific need. So a sum adds all the numbers in a range of cells, a SUMIF adds the cells specified by a given condition or criteria, and a SUMIFs adds the cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria, with multiple criteria in case you're curious. If I use a SUMIFs, which seems to be the best fit for what I'm looking for, again, Excel will give me the arguments that this formula takes. So my sum range will be the actual cells to sum. So if I highlight my salary, I can select that. And then my criteria range will be the range of cells you want evaluated for the particular condition. So what I want to evaluate is the rating. So if I highlight the rating with my mouse, I can select the rating column, and then my criteria will be the condition or criteria in the form of a number, expression, or text that defines which cells will be added. So if I use quotation mark A, close my quotation mark, Excel will actually show me in advance what this formula will return, $927,985. If I hit OK, now this formula has returned just the sum of the A employees in my employee roster. Question 4, use a filter formula to create a roster for all B rating employees. If we want to create an employee roster at the bottom of our sheet, I can copy these headers and then go down here and hit Insert Function, Filter. If I hit OK, it will tell me the different arguments. So the array will be the range or array to filter. So if I highlight my employee number, that is the range or array I want to return, or the range I want to only be returned if the rating is equal to B. Include is the array of booleans where true represents a row or column to retain. So if I highlight my rating column and use F4 to lock that in place, I can use an equal sign and say I only want to return cells where E3 to E23 is equal to B. If I hit OK and drag that formula to the right, now what I've done is I've created a roster for just my B rated employees. Quick bonus tip here, if you want to update your formatting to match the roster above, you can highlight a selection, go up to Home, Format Painter, and just highlight the selection. And now you've copied the format from your other roster very easily. To summarize, if you are unfamiliar with a specific formula or don't know what formula to use, you should use the Insert Function menu, which will pop open this menu and then give you the requirements for a specific formula or function. I have found if you know the arguments for a formula, it is typically faster to type in the formula and then hit Tab to auto-populate that formula.